Alrighty then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome one and all. My name is Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition Gatewalkers, our Pathfinder adventure featuring these wonderful and amazing people. Look at them, are they amazing? Guys, say hello to the folks at home. It's so good to see your smiling faces and have everyone here. Oh no, we don't have everyone here. Mac is not here. Guys, big love for Mac, our player who plays the role of Viv. They are unable to join us today, but we wish them all the best. We hope to see them soon. Lots of love, lots of squishy feelings, and yes, send all the things. So yeah, there you go. Now, before we... Oh no, I haven't got player sound. Let me try that again. Players, are you ready to game?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Did it the first time. Woo! Yep. No mistake on Dag's part. No, sir. Not here. Anyway, guys, before we kick off, we have some people to thank, and that is, of course, our lovely and amazing sponsors who help us keep the lights on here at the Dead As a Gamer channel, starting with none other than the wonderful and amazing folks over at Hero Forge for the wonderful tokens you can see on screen at all times. All of these amazing little bits and bobs come courtesy of an amazing 3D model making software that allows you to design, create, and then boom, 3D print these really cool and amazing models for you to use at home as little commemorations or as tokens for your actual game. These are super cool and super amazing. I'd say they're durable, but it depends on how you build them. Because some of mine are very durable, some of them are not. But they're still really cool and a lot of fun. Then, of course, we have our amazing folks over at Sirenscape who help us immerse our game with an amazing array of sounds, music, and accompaniments to make my games even better, so we love them. Then, of course, Fantasy Grounds for our VTT of choice, which is my dice roller, the rule sets behind me, all the maps and all of that sort of stuff. Honestly, it helps connect my players from all around the world to come in, join us around the table, and enjoy this campfire story with you guys. So, there you go. So yeah, these are our sponsors. But of course, no game is complete without an array of incredible characters for our heroes to enjoy this story with. So, yes, to kick us off on that, I'm going to turn the ball over to my players to introduce themselves and the characters which they will be playing today, starting with none other than our dear and amazing friend, OG Lava Kitten.
Hello, everyone. I'm playing Lushara, who is an elven witch traveling with Magnus, her familiar, and her bunny Monty, and these wonderful folks. She is looking for her missing brother, as well as what happened to her during the missing moments that we all experienced at the same time, and then came together and found out we all experienced these. But we're on a journey, and somehow now we are caught up in a trial. Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be fun. We'll be fine.
And I'm Sky playing the ever angry and gruff dwarf of Bilratar on his path of vengeance, who's been a bit slighted by the fact that originally he thought his vengeance was satisfied until he realized it was all just a hoax because it was through the gate. He eventually found the group in question and is having to endure the trials and tribulations of putting up with the leader that annihilated his fellow company.
And I'm Neil from Immersion Diversion, playing Rungul, the Lashunta Thaumaturge, using information he has from his own planet to try and help the party with things that sound similar on their planet. He uses his information to exploit his targets and see if he can take them down quicker or faster. But he takes the names of the creatures he fights, the stronger the better, to give to future members of the guild he wants to make, to the future party members and guild members.
Hello, I'm Jen. I play Aelith, the elf ranger of the group, doing my best to keep everybody alive. And yeah, waiting to see what's gonna happen next with this trial. Should be fun.
Indeed. Well, I mean, I hope the games I run are fun. I mean, that's kind of the point. So. Yes, and of course, Mac plays the role of Viv, the once upon a time, the puppet companion of a young child who was then animated and turned into a living, breathing, stuffed toy that then eventually got dragged into a fairy realm by a priestess of a fairy god and was regurgitated as a real boy or a girl, we don't know yet, but a real person. And yes, that is who Mac plays, but again, Mac is not here today, so yes that. Cool. Now, last people that we want to thank, before we get into today's session, is none other than the wonderful and amazing folks at home. Guys, thank you so much for watching, for joining us, and giving up your precious time to come and hang out with us. We greatly appreciate it, and as such, we invite you to come on down behind the GM screen in order to influence the game while we're playing and while we're doing cool, fun, and amazing things. First of all, just by watching the show, you earn channel points that can be used a number of times to do a whole bunch of really, really cool stuff. Things like inspiration, insight bonuses, wandering monsters, wandering bosses, divine healing, divine intervention, tons of cool things that'll help the game as we go along. Subscribers, you earn channel points a little bit quicker, so hey, if you haven't subscribed, consider doing so, because we run so many games. It is, honestly, you get so much bang for your buck for subscribing to the channel and earning points that way. But for those of you who have some monetary disposable income and would like to help DAG out, well, guess what? We have gotten through our monthly requirement for DAG's survival check, and we are now onto our DAG of holdings. What are the DAG of holdings, you ask? Well, all donations go towards a $100 goal. I know it says 90, but that's because we exceeded in our previous thing before I reset everything. So, every $100, whichever table happens to make that $100 threshold, will get an item from the DAG of Holding. This magic item is a group item that the group will be able to use that comes from my homebrew games and my homebrew worlds. Each have their own story of how I got these things and what came up with them and what inspires them. Some may be inspired by characters, some may be inspired by just things that have happened, but it's like a mini DAG story time along with just a really cool, unique item that shares a piece of my own history as a role player and a dungeon master with you guys. So, you know, there you go. But of course, as previously mentioned, yes, as previously mentioned, we have a ton of very, very cool rewards that have a more tangible effect than some of the point system stuff. So first of all, we have our $5 reward, which of course is a which is either a jinx point for one of the, what am I saying? A hero point for one of my players or a jinx point for me. The hero points are these little red marks that give players advantage on rolls, allow them to petition the DM for stuff that isn't in the rules, something I think they forget every now and then. Basically survive a killing blow as well. Jinx points can be used to counteract hero points, make bad guys roll with advantage, and complicate things ever so slightly if and when I require. For $10, I will draw from one of two decks of cards I have in front of me. The first deck is a deck of, boom, plot twists and flashbacks, where I will add whatever random plot twist and flashback we draw from this deck to the episode today. We have two that are still in effect from last week. We have Broken and Earworm. So these are the two that are still active. Though Earworm is a tough one. There you go. I should really come up with a penalty for if I don't, do them after 2 weeks. I should figure that out. And then, of course, the second deck I will draw from for a $10 reward is a deck of Heroic Actions, which is a free, unique powered action that'll be given to a player of your choice, and a heroic action, a hero point that is there for emergencies. So there you go. $20 will give you the coveted golden natural 20, which of course is a natural 20. Natural 20 for $5. What? Did I say natural 20 for $5?
Because that's You started to.
Oh, I did. Yeah. That's my thing. Yeah. Anyway, the natural 20 is actually $20, which of course is the coveted golden natural 20, which is a critical success in whatever the group is doing. It sometimes can help pull my players out of a dangerous situation, allow them to do a whole bunch of cool stuff, and yeah, basically just like try to be the heroes that we know that they can be from time to time. Yep. Anyway, so that's that. $50, we have 3 rewards available for $50. We have the boss buff, which increases the difficulty of a challenge the group is facing by a catastrophic margin. So there's that. We have a...
Are you losing Dag's microphone? Or is it just me?
It does sound weird.
There you go.
Hello? What happened there? Oh, that was weird.
That was weird.
Okay,
Very weird.
well, I think it's fixed.
You were like on loop.
I was on loop? I was just repeating myself. That was it. Oh, the clicking. Oh, okay, weird. Okay, the way to go. Is it not clicking now? Just double checking.
Yeah, we're good now.
This is my voice. Making sure the audience members who are in my chat can hear my voice and it doesn't sound weird. Anyone in chat, please feel free to chime in. Thank you, Cass. Really appreciate it. All right. So, as I was saying, we for the $50 donation, we have 3 different tiers. We have the boss buff, we have the magic item, and we have the draw from the Harrow deck, which is a fortune-telling draw that will read the future of my players, and if they lean into it or reject the fortune, they will get an automatic success or critical success, and they will also, for the duration of the game, get a benefit based on rolls that associate with the ability that the Harrow card represents. It's a very hard thing to say and explain, but trust me, it's a good group buff. It's a massive group buff, so there's that. $100 secret menu item. Guys, I know exactly what I'm going to do here, and it actually has nothing to do with the trial that our group is on.
Oh.
I am going to consolidate certain powers that be. Now, we have got a number of NPCs that are traveling with the group. And I love these NPCs. They're great. But one that I have drawn a lot of ire towards, I guess. Not ire as in like I'm super mad, but ire as in like I'm really finding it difficult to deal with, is Sakuichi and her team. I like her. I think she's great. I think she's fantastic. But I feel as though she takes away from my players whenever I try to use her. Like she's like some sort of massive kind of like get out of jail free card. So, for the $100 secret menu item, I will create a quest, a special mission in order to allow Sakuichi to give her powers or transfer her powers of astral reading and divination to one of the group members of your choosing. Turning them effectively into what could eventually be the conduit of, the chosen one, instead of this nameless, faceless, well, named person, but, like, otherwise non-existent character. It's not like someone's playing Sakuichi. So yeah. They will require a lot of redesign in terms of the story and the adventure, because she is a huge part of this book and the next one. But I am willing to do it because, again, you guys will effectively be paying me to do so. So, yay. There we go. Cool. And if you guys feel the same way, then, yeah, it's a good way to do that as well. All right. Now, as we get into today's game, we have already got a $20 donation from our friend Marcus for 2 more plot twists. Marcus, do you want to choose the numbers, or do you want them to be at random? Marcus, do you want me to pick these at random? Because I've got 2 plot twists here with your
Random.
number. Random it is. All right, here we go. So, random plot twist number 1 is hilarious memory. That's a good one. Hilarious memory. Actually, I think I'm pretty sure I can do that one in today's game. That's not gonna be hard. All right. And here we go. The second one is... Badoosh. Oh, did I? That was not what I... That's fine. Okay. Bad news.
No.
Oh no.
As if we don't have enough bad news.
Okay, there we go.
That's great.
So, there we go. Without any further ado, let us commence today's session. When last we left our heroes, as our heroes began to accompany Sakuichi and friends to head to the land of Sarcosis, where the stars had portent a solution, an end to none other than Omyo, the Black Frost Whale, a great and powerful evil that still remained in the lands of Galarian. Our heroes traveled to the Junlan Rex in order to commandeer a vessel so that they may make the journey across the Lake of Mist and Veils. After defeating the enigmatic priestess of Ragadan, our heroes managed to acquire the Mermaid's Tear, an old, dilapidated, but still functional vessel. And unfortunately, not an unclaimed vessel, as a Chelish warship began pursuit of our heroes. Allowing them to dock, our heroes inquired as to what this vessel wanted with them. And it turns out that pirates had stolen the Mermaid's Tear from the Chelish Empire, and they had to be accounted for. Well, that wasn't the only problem at hand. While the team has been accused of stealing a Chelish ship, Bilrutar has been recognized as a fugitive from Cheliax, a man responsible for physically assaulting none other. Did we give him a name, actually? I can't remember if we gave him a name.
We didn't have a name, but we had the... Yeah.
Yeah, you just said he was the director of the...
Yes. Well, yeah, okay. Let's give him a name then. Cass and Cookie, if either or both of you are in chat, you may name this NPC. But the director of Hobgoblin Outreach and Reconciliation was assaulted by Bilrutar. And now a trial is being held to figure out what to do with these delinquent pirates. And it is here that our story is going to continue. But before we do so, we have one roll to make. Bilrutar, as this crime is in your past, and as per the secret menu item from last week, we need to find out if you're guilty or not. So we're going to get you to roll a d6. Now, low numbers are going to indicate that your character is innocent, whereas the high numbers are going to indicate your guilt. Now, with a 1, you are completely innocent. Absolutely, unequivocally, this was not you. You were not anywhere near this thing, and you just, they're mistaken. Something has gone awry. Number 2 is you are partially guilty. That is to say, you were in the vicinity, you maybe split some words, but you never assaulted him. You likely did something to earn his ire, but, you never actually assaulted him or anything like that. 3 means that you kind of did lay hands on him, but at the same time, you did not assault him. You kind of, pushed him out of the way to get past so you can get out of the place that he was trapping you in and physically body blocking you. So not guilty in the sense of, you're not, beating this guy up. You are, however, yeah, okay, I made physical contact, but, I'm innocent. I'm not, this is blown out of proportion. A 4 is, well, yeah, you actually did hit him intentionally, but it was more of a warning, like a get the hell away from me. You shoved him to make some distance. You bumped his shoulder on the way out to show your disdain. You were guilty, but it was still being blown out of proportion. 5 is you absolutely did. You shoved him, you pushed him down, you physically assaulted this person. You are guilty unequivocally. And 6, you beat the ever-living snot out of this guy. You jumped him and lay so many hands upon him that you're fairly sure his children are going to be born with broken noses, right? So these are these are our 6 different options here, right? So I'm going to give you now Birata, because I know you love this as well. I'm going to give you a choice between 1 to 5.
Oh, 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a choice 1 to 5. 3.
3
Okay.
apparently.
I want you to roll 3d6. And the third d6
Ooh.
is the d6 you're going to use. So let's see.
Oh,
4. Partial guilt. 4. Partial guilt. 3. Partial
Aw.
innocence. Okay. So, partial innocence it is. Meaning that you did hit this guy, but they are blowing it out of proportion. You did not intend to assault this individual. However, he was, there was physical contact. How, to that degree, it is up to you, but ultimately you didn't wish to bring harm to this person. You maybe didn't like him, but, you're like, it's kind of one of those, like, if I wanted to bring harm to you, boy howdy, would harm be brought to you. All right, you ready?
No.
We'll find out.
Okay. A few hours pass since the arrival of the Chellish ship. As it does so, our heroes are brought one at a time from a makeshift containment room to what looks to have now been made a courtroom on the main deck. Several barrels have been stacked so that members of the Chellish ship, as well as officials, can watch over the proceedings. As, of course, this captain presides as judge. Her name is Captain.
Her name was Captain Lambosa.
Captain Lambosa?
Yeah, that's what I've written down.
Captain Lambosa it is.
I think it's Kateri Lambosa. Yeah, Captain Lambosa.
yeah.
All right.
Aboard the Red Duchess.
Meanwhile, you see a Nephilim, a kind of like a half fiend, half angel kind of like person, a regular mortal person, mind you, like kind of thing like kind of like they've got like a one horn out one side, and that kind of it, strange colored eyes and stuff. This individual is a lawyer, an Abdaran lawyer, mind you, and they are looking to represent the prosecution. Now you have a choice. You can choose to represent yourselves, or you can choose to have someone speak on your behalf.
Well, Bill, are you gonna represent yourself or a lawyer? I kind of feel like you might need a lawyer.
It feels like this is one that Bill will say to everyone else, just shut me up if I go too far to everyone else's, or stop me if I start to run my mouth.
Okay.
Repping himself. That never goes poorly.
All right.
Nope.
So
No, but are any of you lawyers to help them?
yeah, there are a couple of lawyers on the other crew as well, almost like a handful of Chellish lawyers. Or you can choose one of the
Chellish lawyers.
ghost members of your crew. You also
Like, you know,
have
all the ghosts that were currently hiding.
that
because
were
they don't
hiding.
be
yeah,
found.
the ghosts that you're hiding and pretending aren't here on the ship while you blaspheme. You could always ask Ostra to represent you.
Yeah.
That'll go real well.
And
He would love to represent you.
and Sakoichi and her company is also here as well.
You know what, I think it'd be more hilarious if we just have Bill do it, to be honest.
Very well.
Seems like something he'd do.
So, the Nephilim, which, let me see if I've got a cool Nephilim picture here. Oh, I do. Oh my god, there's so many cool Nephilims. Oh yeah, no, it has to be her. Please, yes. There we go. Okay. Can I... It's not gonna let me zoom in. It's fine. Alright, cool. This is really spooky music. I'm gonna just turn this off real quick. Get out of here. Okay, so... As you can see, your lawyer... their lawyer, approaching the bench. She says, Your Honor, I am Lydia, and I will be representing the prosecution this day on behalf of the Chelish Imperium. We are here today to deal with two class issues. The first being, of course, one class and one civil issue. The class issue comes from the inappropriate requisition of a Chelish vessel under the piracy laws, and the second is a civil suit against the Hobgoblin Alliance Imperium and the embassy versus Bilrita for grievous, aggravated, unprovoked assault against someone better than the dwarves, is as it's written, but I think what it means to say is aggravated assault from, yes, a member of the non-Chelish Imperium. The captain sort of puts her sword kind of like down, like kind of next to her. Yes, quite all right. Get on with it. And who is representing the defense? I don't know why I became French. We are French now. This is it. We are in. Who is representing the defense? Speak now. Allez.
That's personal. Egregious. I could speak on my own behalf.
Very well. You may speak on your behalf. Firstly, prosecution. You may begin your opening statement. Oh, thank you so much. And to, of course, my worthy opponent, I hope there is no bad feelings. We are all here to see that justice is done, and those who are truly responsible are held accountable for their actions. The prosecution would like to begin by stating the following. We, upon our patrol, came upon the very vessel we're standing on, which still has Chelish markers, the name of the Chelish vessel that had been attacked by pirates, as accorded to reports given by the patrol commanders several years ago. There are signs that this crew, as seen by the defense, are and were making use of Chelish property without proper authorization. It is our duty to then figure out if they were the ones who were responsible, simply passers-by who were attempting to, well, do the right thing and return the boat to Chelish control, or if they are, well, salvagers who are breaching salvaging rights by, well, way of theft. The second case is that according to these missives, which we have found under the arrest warrant for one Bilratar, is that on the day in question, Bilratar had made his claims to recompensation from hobgoblins from the embassy and was asked to leave and vacate the premises. In doing so, created a commotion during which a member of the embassy, the representative of Hobgoblin Relations, was attacked and physically assailed by Bilratar. This was performed on Chelish soil in the embassy of the Hobgoblin Nations. Should he be found guilty, the Hobgoblin Nations have requested that he be extradited and prosecuted by their laws. Yes, very good. Defense, you may begin your opening statements.
Sorry, it's just seeing everyone else's
Did you-
faces.
Did you just laugh at me? No, it's fine. Yeah, okay, go on.
Ah. Well, I don't know too much about the history of this vessel, other than the individuals that persuaded us to free it from the wrecks. I'm sure they can be found somewhere. But in terms of that weasel, he was preventing me from getting rightful information. It's not my fault. He tried to block my way into suitable archives and got buried under some books. You're muted.
Very well. Opening statements concluded. You may begin. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like to start by addressing the simple fact here. Our esteemed colleague mentioned that there was indeed someone who had allowed them to take this vessel. I would ask the accused, who exactly gave you permission to take a Chelish vessel? Or is it that that person happens to not be here to corroborate this story? I'm going to
He called himself.
I'm going to abuse the fuck out of that.
Well, he introduced himself originally as Captain Swabby when we picked him up afloat. When we eventually got on board, he said his actual name was Captain Adney Tinhull. Needless to say, as soon as your vessel showed up, he decided to hide under the rafts. He even tried to give a battlefield promotion to one of my comrades here.
And where exactly is this Captain Swabby now?
Well, we'll just basically look down at the deck and imply beneath.
He is
Oh,
hiding.
sorry, on, as in imply that it's beneath the decks of the Mermaid's Tier.
So he's hiding
Sorry.
below decks. You're concealing members of the crew. That's what she's implying. Are you saying there are more people aboard this vessel than are currently present.
Do you really think a bunch of novices like us could sail a ship like this?
The captain looks angry. When I requested all members aboard this ship be present and accounted for the trial, I did not say to exclude key witnesses. Now either you present these people, or I will force them out by ripping this ship apart, plank by plank.
Are we not on her ship now?
You are, sorry, ripping apart your ship plank by plank.
Yep. Oh. All mortal members are here.
You're gonna play coy.
'Cause-
Fun. This is gonna be great for a lawyer.
Your Bill's not smart.
What's your wisdom like?
+1.
No, see, hey, look, in Pathfinder, that actually means you're not unwise. Being not
No.
smart doesn't mean not being wise. As far as wisdom and intelligence goes, intelligence is knowing stuff. Wisdom is about understanding the application. So you think to yourself for a moment. And I'm going to give you this earworm. Da-da-da-da-da. Try to be clear, concise, and direct. Anything implied will likely be used as a weapon by this person who is a trained lawyer. Any kind of interpretation that will swing to the prosecution's benefit will likely be used. Something you've seen having been to Cheliax before. And once they build in those contracts and once those laws have been set, they are way stickier to get out of. As far as protecting the undead members of your crew have gone, right now you are on trial for stealing a ship and assaulting some guy. Even if they do recognize you as having performed necromancy, they actually can't bring that to trial because until the conclusion of these affairs. So you're actually kind of safe in that bubble. They then have to prove that you were the one that brought them alive, that you were the one that resurrected them, you were the necromancer, blah, 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 blah. There's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But that is what your earworm is currently telling you. It's this tiny
Okay.
little Bilrata, one that's wearing like a halo and like little wings. And it's like, don't be a smartass. And the devil's like, fucking kick him in the dick.
Okay, so rephrasing. Everyone that could leave the vessel is currently present. The others are kind of bound over there for some strange, bizarre reason.
Your tiny little halo angel, Bilrata, takes off his halo and he starts beating you on the head with it. What part of fucking Claire did you not fucking understand? Do not
see-
try to flowery words. Direct thing. The orange is orange. The apple is red. Fucking be clear.
You see, the former crew still haunts the decks.
Her question was, where is this Captain Swabby? And to present them.
And Bill's trying to say, he's still over on the ship. He's a ghost.
At this point in time, there's a gasp from the crowd. A ghost, a ghost, a ghost. Oh my god. A ghost. A likely story. And I suppose you would have us prove the existence of this ghost that can corroborate your story. Meanwhile, Biruta's just chewing on a cookie that the Halo Angel has given him. Like, good job.
Oh, I'm sure if you can persuade someone else to go over and actually convince them to show their face instead of hiding like cows. They seemed pretty reasonable. since their ship is now free.
She looks at the judge, and the judge nods. She says, "You may send one of your crewmen over with an armed escort to bring and escort the ghost of this Captain Swabi here in order to bear witness."
Looks behind him to the others behind him. You lot can volunteer. I think you're on mute, Ochi.
Lushara says, I'll go.
All right, Lashar, you have an armed escort as you are brought across. You are on the deck of your ship. There's nothing here, or no one here.
Captain Swami, Tinhill. Would you mind coming up to the deck, please? I swear to God, if you don't come up here, I will haunt you.
Make an intimidate check.
Honda Haunter.
All right. I doubt she's very good at intimidation, but let's find out. Skills. Intimidation. Nope, not her strong point. 18.
18. You hear a voice going, "And how be you intending to haunt a ghost?" As this head just pops out from the deck, sees the armed guards. Oh shit, I'm not here.
I am a witch. I know things. And will find the correct spell to just torture you for all eternity if you don't get up here and come back with us to the other ship.
At this point, Captain Tinsley sort of like floats upwards and he goes, "You dare anger the restless spirits of the dead, foolish mortal. Prepare for punishment that shall be. Yeah, okay, let's go."
Thank you, Captain.
The ghost floats over the deck. Again, there's people that are like, "Oh, ghost." Ooh. And at this point, Captain Tinsley arrives. Adney Tinhill. There we go. Boom. Okay, you have the ghost in front of you. It is your witness, good sir. Ah, I found it. Good.
Well, Captain.
Captain?
Do you want to...
Yes, I be Captain. Captain Adney Tinhill. Privateer and all-round good citizen.
And did you not ask us to help reclaim your vessel?
Reclaim my vessel?
From that pesky priestess?
Ah, the fucking bitch. I mean, what? Priest, he kind of looks a little bit like he's kind of like trying to skirt the question. Why he's afraid of the chalice, you have no idea. But
Well, the fact that he said he was a privateer immediately.
yeah. He says, Aye, that was true. The ship that we had been sailing on was iced and captured by some sort of strange fairy woman person thing. And we may have, asked for some assistance in being freed of her curse.
I will just do a very slow eyebrow raise towards the judge with that.
Judge is listening. I have heard he has asked you to get rid of a curse. I did not hear the bit where he says, please go and steal a Chelish ship.
Oh, he didn't. He claimed it was his ship that we needed to free.
What? I don't remember. I mean, make a diplomacy check.
Oh boy. Maybe.
I honestly wasn't sure if we were allowed to say anything. That's why I've been quiet the whole time. Because Ron Gould is just kind of listening to this, what's going on.
Oh, you can say things
Okay.
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah.
11.
Okay.
Adney turns
Yeah.
and says, now, I might just be an old ghost and not know much of this big and wide world. All I know is where my soul be bound. Regardless of what happened or where I died, the ship that I call home is a place where my restless soul must remain anchored. It cannot perceive the same way that mortals trade in commerce. After all, if you take the sails away, is it still the mermaid's tear? If you replace every plank and bolt, is it not the mermaid's tear? And to what part is my soul and the soul of my other ghostly crewmates bound? It was my ship. But in saying it was my ship, it is also my tomb.
How did you obtain your ship?
Will you fuck off?
Look, you've already admitted you're a privateer. You might as well say this is your ship, and you told us that we could
Sorry.
help you.
It's just that he's trying so hard to like convince the court that he's fine, and then Ayla just dry as a bone. But how did you get this ship? He's like, oh, fuck off, will you? Like, come on. Oh, okay. God, I hope someone clipped that. Anyway, so he turns around and he says, all right, fine. So maybe the ship was unoccupied at the time because a group of Chelish navymen who didn't know what they were doing maybe leapt overboard and went to go and attack some pirates. And maybe a budding young privateer saw an opportunity when the opportunity arose, and maybe took advantage, maybe seized the opportunity, and mounted himself to captain. But that man is dead, and if he is without a body, then you can accuse nobody for this crime. I rest my case. This is not your case. I rest my case. Oh, wait. I'm moving on. The afterlife, it calls to me. Oh, I'm fading. Oh, this is it.
I'm just points at him like,
Going towards the light. I'm going towards the light. Ooh.
Uh-huh.
I just, that's not how
he's
cruises
just going
work,
back to
right?
the other ship. We can get him again if you need him, Captain.
Ugh.
Well, yes.
So,
As you can see, we didn't steal the ship. We were misled into believing the ship was owned by said captain, and that if we aided him in releasing his ship, that he would give us a ride across the waters.
Hmm.
Obviously, if we had known this was owned by the Chelish Empire, we would not have boarded it.
You say that if you knew it was a Chelish ship, you wouldn't have boarded it?
Yes.
And yet, when you were told that it was a Chelish ship, did not you and your companions refuse to relinquish it, instead asking for its use further? Your Honor, I posit the point that while perhaps these individuals were not responsible for the loss of the crew, the commandeering of the ship, though it has passed hands to now a deceased captain, has thus since transferred to them. And their initial refusal to relent the ship in view of their own journey implies that, well, either they intend to put up a fight for it, or they have no remorse or guilt, having learned the information that the ship does indeed belong to the Chelish Imperium. What was stolen has been stolen, so why return it, after all, when you are not the thief? You hear the crowd go, thieves, thieves.
We stopped and put up no fight when you approached. We had no intention of fighting. We were just trying to journey across the waters. We did not know it was one of your ships when we boarded.
I'm going to latch on to the point that you
Anyone
made.
else jump in?
I'm going to latch on to the point you made about the fact that you didn't put on a fight, rather than, because the second part still kind of falls into place.
Yeah.
This is true. If you had placed up a fight or shown any intention to run and flee, your guilt would have been all but admitted. Yet you have proven that you are at least willing to abide by the laws and reasons here. Prosecution, is there anything further you would like to ask? No, Your Honor. I think the statement speaks for itself. Very well. On the count of commandeering a ship under illegal process, the crew is only found partially guilty, which is enough to be punished in the Chelish Empire. Your punishment will be, of course, to relinquish the ship. However, your entourage of people will be allowed to pass to Eged, which I believe is your current destination, but you will be doing so aboard our vessel. The Mermaid's Tear will be scuttled, so that no other pirates or unaware civilians can make use of Chelish resources without the Imperium's knowledge. What did she say? On the other
You're
ship.
going on a new journey.
Fuck! Alright, that's over on the other ship. Alright. She then, does the whole hammer thing with her sword. Now onto the matter of Bilrata versus the Hobgoblin embassy. I'd like to bring forth a witness, if I may. But of course, I would like to bring the Hobgoblin Ostra to the stand. Hold on. Wait.
Done.
Yeah. Ah,
That is very apt.
Ostra begins to make his way over onto the witness stand. Ostra, is that your hobgoblin name? My fucking name. Sorry, apologies. Do you know the accused? She says, gesturing at Bilratar. Yeah, sad to say I do. Sooner I know him less, the better.
Oh,
Well, can you describe your relationship with the accused? Sure I can. Me and the other members of the Obsidian Oath were researching magic items and effects within Skywatch when Bilratar and his entourage of violent sociopaths murdered a good portion of my patrols. He invaded one of my barracks, slew hobgoblin men and women in their sleep, and then proceeded to kill my second in command. You hear this kind of like... That does seem like he's been... And are you sure that Bilratar was the one that did it? Oh, yeah. You see, you can smell hobgoblin blood. It's how we identify strength. The more blood you smell like, the more that we get the urge to throw you down and crush you. And you reek, Bilratar. No further questions, Your Honor. As she... Your witness?
Apologies, Your Honor, but I thought this was a witness to the assault of the director.
This is a witness to the character of the accused. It proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that there is lingering prejudicial hatred towards the ancestry. That's the word. To the ancestry of the victim in question. Without the presence of the victim itself, it is an imperative part of the case, Your Honor. Make a diplomacy check, Bilratar.
I got a funny feeling this entire party is doing everything that they're not good at just now. And complete opposite. A 12.
She's going to permit the question. Oh, she's going to permit the witness and the line of questioning.
Oh, yeah.
And then Lushar is going to lean forward to Bill and be like, perhaps you should frame this one as just a fight between your organization and his organization and not hobgoblin versus dwarf.
Well, the bit that even that witness, as you can probably tell there's going to be a slight curl of lips as he has to say that, doesn't get into the fact that I was simply looking for information about the foul Obsidian Oath to find my own answers to some violence in their past. This director tried to refuse me, simply trying to lay off the fact that there was no such thing as hobgoblin violence against a mercenary group.
Sorry, did you just say that the hobgoblin ambassador was claiming that hobgoblins aren't violent towards mercenaries?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna make a deception check on that. Because under no circumstances is any hobgoblin ever claiming anything remotely like this. Yes, no, that will critically fail.
Yeah.
As it does so, there's a rumble coming from the crowd. Do they call you counsel? You're the defendant, so I mean, if the defense does not wish to ask any questions of the witness in question, they may ask the witness to stand down. But rest assured, all testimonies are final, and any attempt to deceive or lie to this court shall not be seen favorably, and you will be held in, what's the word, perjury? Purgatory?
Contempt.
No. There's a thing. When you
lying to the court would be perjury.
Perjury, yeah. I keep thinking purgatory, and I'm like, no, yeah, perjury, yes. You'll be held accountable for perjury. Which in English terms is, do you wish to ask anything of Ostra, or are you going to tell Ostra to stand down? Right now, they're building a case against your character, and so far you have lied about hobgoblins, and you haven't denied having committed horrible atrocities against hobgoblin kind. If you wish to lean on the whole, like, hobgoblins are bad, you need to prove Ostra is bad. Not a great challenge, mind you, but
No.
you know, that's the angle you'd want to go at.
Above
Is that-
table, I don't know if I was around for the hobgoblin attack. Did the hobgoblins attack first? I think I was.
This is
during that
from
session.
Bill's past.
No,
None of us are
no.
aware.
Oh, his past. So not
none
what's
of this-
happening now.
So no.
Oh, okay.
We're talking two things.
Two things, yeah.
All right. Hobgoblin in the past, Bilratar attacked one guy who did not attack Bilratar. Very important distinction.
Yep.
In the present, they're saying that Bilratar is a sociopath who hates hobgoblins. To prove that, they have shown this man, who is a hobgoblin, talking about Bilratar having attacked them. If your question is about Ostra and his encounter, when you first landed in Skywatch, several of the Obsidian Oath were looking to capture Sakuichi. You killed them.
Yeah. They were torturing them too, so we can
They
we have
were-
witnesses.
Oh.
They were torturing the guards, the
Sakuichi.
Yep, Sakuichi's guards.
Yeah.
They were
yeah,
torturing
yeah.
them.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of, again, all part of the whole thing.
Okay.
However, Ostra, I don't think has directly done anything to you guys personally, but he is in command of the Obsidian Oath
Yeah.
and has claimed that as well.
So the angle would probably be to ask him if he ordered his guards to hunt down Sakuichi and harm said people, and we were just rescuing them. Well, Bill was rescuing them because
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that first bloodbath.
Yep. Yeah, because I wasn't there for that session, so
Yeah.
because I was wondering about if they had attacked first, and I didn't know fully how that played out. So yeah, that might be a route to go.
In which we'll probably like whisper to Bill, like, maybe we should target Austria's like,
Yep. His
acts
character.
in the city. Yeah. In Skywatch. He
think
just
we've lost your
got
mic.
caught lying. Do we want to take over on this part at least?
I was going to say, because I do actually
Yeah.
have something for this.
Okay.
So, now, Ostra, when we first met, you had a specific notebook that you said kept key points of note. several of which are from dwarven ancestries from your past encounters, implying that you yourself have got a bit of prejudice against the dwarven people. Are you sure your own testimony isn't your own bias taking fruit?
At this point, the other lawyer speaks up. Objection. Leading question. Leading statement with no question. The judge says, sustained. Ask a question and make a point, and do not make it for them. Sorry. In English, because remember, guys, we're not actually lawyers here.
Yep.
So
Oh, no.
what's basically being said here is, the leading question is a question that's being asked with an answer already given, and the only thing you're doing is confirming what you're already statement. It's like, you're prejudiced, aren't you? That's a leading question because you're saying that. Whereas you're not really asking or gaining facts. Things like, for example, a good question might have been, you have a book involved with people who... you have a book with a list of names, don't you? And then it's like, yes, I have a book with a list of names. These names, what is the relevance of their names? The relevance of their names is this. All right? And how long have you been traveling with this book, with the intent to do this to the people in the names? You know, you're getting them to answer the questions. So a leading question is you building everything and then getting them to say that, which is not allowed. Because it's not their story, it's your story. In this particular instance, I'll say the intent behind it, Bill Ratar, you kind of want to lean on this, and if you want to explore his prejudice towards dwarves, that's a separate thing which you can absolutely do. So I'm saying that you've got two bits of evidence here that are going to be quite good for you. First is the journal. The second is, how he treats dwarves.
Very well. So he'll just start going effectively step by step through that, if it helps. So I don't have to try and
Sure.
restate everything that
Yeah,
you've
not a problem.
just...
Because again, we're role playing, and the same way I don't ask people to do push-ups with athletics checks, I'm not going to ask you to go this. Just tell me which of the conversations you want to lead into.
I think it makes sense trying to get them to produce the book, because while that might have dwarves, it might also have things like the guards and all that they was getting everyone in the Skywatch to go for.
Perfect. Okay. He is asked to present the book, and in doing so, the book is presented to the judge, who reads it over. It has a large list of names, including a number of different people and different places. Now, Bill Ratar, you can tell the name of your mercenary company.
Which I don't think we ever settled on
We've
the
never
actual
done
name for,
it.
because
You have to, whatever it is. Do you want to settle on a name? We don't have to, but if you want to.
nah.
Okay. You ask if the name is there, and the name is indeed there. Meaning, proof unequivocally, written in their own hand, he came after you and your company, not the other way around. How can you perform atrocities and acts against a person who is actively hunting you and your companions down?
Oh, the guy that Bill Ratar hit?
No.
We have a name for him.
Ostra.
No, we're
Ostra.
Oh,
attacking the character witness.
got it.
Yep.
I thought I was like, Cass gave a name to them. But yeah. Never mind.
No, that's good. Okay. So, with that being said, you can see that the crowd is now like starting to lean on your side. Like, yeah, this guy was out hunting him. Like, if you're a hunter and you get attacked by your prey, then you've got no right to complain. Bill Ratar is pretty much innocent here. Okay, cool. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, cool. The prosecution then the judge then relieves Ostra and tells Ostra to, stand down. And he does. Now the defense gets to choose a witness, whom you, if you want to, one of you can bring Bill Retard to the stand. Probably a good idea, as Bill Retard knows what happened. Alternatively, you could not, and I don't know who else you would ask because there's no one else here. Yeah, Bill Retard's pretty much the only person to question.
Question is,
Oh,
which one in
okay.
the group wants to question Bill?
Oh boy.
If we are looking to prove Bill's innocence, what about, because part of the testimony was us killing some of his members there. So to show character, would it be good to bring in one of the guards, that sort of thing, that was being tortured, and show how he helped in freeing them for character?
I don't think that
Or
really. Yeah, I don't
no,
think
that
that'll.
Yeah.
would, okay.
Yeah, that would have been that would have been a good way to discount Ostra's thing, but you've already done that in
Okay.
the journal. The journal's successfully achieved that.
It's now getting Bill's side of the story, as in it wasn't as big of a deal as it's being accused of, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay,
So we're
somebody
gonna
better
have
at
to.
this.
Oh no, that leaves me. Oh no. All
No,
right,
I don't-
Lushara is gonna try.
I'm talking above table, my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, above table, we get to put our brain power together.
Alrighty,
all right.
we'll try.
Yes, we can do it. Okay. Yes, Your Honor. We are going to have Bill Ratar speak on his behalf on the incident.
Bill Retard, you may take the seat.
Oh well. Now, is this Bill just giving a speech, or are you actually going to question him? That's straight to
I'm gonna try
questions.
questioning him.
Bill Ratar
so,
gets up
because
and-
his speeches is gonna go like
Yeah,
crazy.
Bill Retard stands up and starts trying to give a speech, and the judge slams her sword down and basically says, "Shut the fuck up." The witness will only speak when asked a question by either their defense or the prosecution.
Yep.
Bill Ratar, why did you go to this embassy?
Figured it was the best place to find information about that blasted Ascidian oath.
Right. And who did you reach out to get this information?
I'm assuming there's going to be quite a few people there. Says,
Hmm?
well, they try to pass me off person to person, trying to never answer the question, as you might imagine, as diplomacy type people try to do when they're trying to just drown you in petty answers.
Great. Just gonna try to cut him off before he keeps going.
Yeah.
Please explain what was happening when the alleged altercation happened. You know, from your perspective.
Well, eventually, when it was the chief boss that they finally sat me down in front of, well, I say sat, forced me into a chair pretty much. They baited a book of records about the activities of various groups, and then refused to even open it up. I may have tried to grab the book from them,
And then what happened?
Well, the fact that he might have overreached and toppled and banged his head against a table.
One second, I'm trying to figure out the next question to ask.
I know it. I know.
I'm trying to figure out the right way to ask.
Twist it.
Essentially, was it an accident, an accidental, like a scuffle that he accidentally got hurt, and that it was a minor altercation and not this huge assault? I'm
And
sure
this
the
is
right
more
way
because I'm
ask
trying to
that.
place it at that 3 mark, by the way. It's like,
Uh, how do I ask that? How would you describe the altercation that you've been accused of?
right. Dag, let me know if this is not aiming for that 3 mark, by the way, for the level.
Yep, not a problem. I've actually
So-
got another plan, so just keep going with this story. This is good.
Okay. But after I obtained the book and tried to read it, as you imagine, he might have not been too happy with possibly the forceful nature. I'm sure you might imagine after a day of backwards and forwards and running around, even your temper might be frayed. Needless to say, when he tried to put me in a headlock to try and restrain me, and I just simply shoved him away, it's not my fault that there was a table in his path. If it wasn't for that, he might have just sat back down in the chair.
Bill needs that little angel to whack him on the head again. To just speak plainly.
Mm-hmm. All right. At this point in time,
Yeah.
we leave the scene on the deck and find ourselves in a sprawling cityscape. During the day, Bilratar, a younger Bilratar, mind you, one who smells like hell, who has crawled their way through the gates and into the city, fresh only a few short days after the death of his fellow mercenaries, comes upon the Hobgoblin embassy. Neil and Jen, the two of you are Hobgoblin guards, and you see this dwarf covered in just dirt and filth, smelling like the nines as they begin to approach. The Hobgoblin embassy is a place of respect, militant and lawful. This is a place where you have a foothold to negotiate with Chelish on matters involving your proud and great warlord clans. Not a place for filthy drunks to be thrown into this place. Birata, you approach the embassy.
Halt. State your business.
I'm here seeking a certain band.
Like hell you are. Just like that.
And smelling like that dwarf.
I can tell the two of you don't get around a battlefield much. You trying to smell like roses and pussyfoot around in civility.
Better than you. You don't look chelish.
And you need to be churlish to get inside, do you?
We have respect with the chelish.
So everyone else be damned, is that what you're saying?
Hmm. I like to Aelith Hobgoblin. What do you think?
At least, well, at least when the Chelish arrive, they don't look and smell like somebody who's been sleeping in the sewers.
At this point, another hobgoblin arrives. This one, a noble, not the representative, mind you, but another individual. Now, Lashara. Sorry, OG. OG, you are a hobgoblin who is in charge of effectively Chelish and hobgoblin relations. Your specific, I guess, point here is to try and make sure that people don't always see hobgoblins as, well, effectively just these thoughtless, mindless thugs who are, just out to, exert their authority and power. You bear witness to this and kind of see the very typical, and again, when I say very typical, you recognize it immediately. There's very typical bullying of of what looks to be maybe a Chelish citizen, maybe.
Right. Am I a hobgoblin as well, or
You're a
just
hobgoblin.
a...
Everyone,
Okay.
every
Got
NPC
it.
in this region will be a hobgoblin.
Got it. What's going on over here?
Oh, ma'am. Sorry. There's a citizen who wishes to see someone, but they are dirty and smelly.
I'm gonna give you that one, Neil. Well done.
Yeah,
That's a good one. The amount of times Milratar has been called dirty and smelly today is just amazing. Well done.
I see. Just stand down for a moment. How may we help you, sir? You seem like you need assistance. Are you all right?
If you can point me in the right direction of one of your pesky war brands, I'm sure I can get out of your hair.
I would love to assist you. I need a little bit more. Like, what type of information are you seeking? And I can help you find where you need to go.
I seek their location.
Whose location?
The Obsidian Oath.
Is that a mercenary group of some sort?
You would know the Obsidian Oath are one of the tribes under the Warband.
Okay. Oh, apologies. Yes, you'll need to speak. I'm not entirely sure, but you definitely want to come to the embassy. Let him pass. Obviously, he needs assistance.
Ma'am, All right.
Yes. Do
No,
we
no.
judge others on their appearance?
No.
That because they are not hobgoblins, that they cannot come through even if we don't understand their cultures?
I
Exactly.
pull the spear back.
All right. With the spear pulled back, Bill Retire, you are allowed
Welcome
access.
to the embassy.
You're allowed access into the compound. There are a great many hobgoblins here who are basically just like, you know, kind of they're just sort of minding their own business, chatting and the like, until they sort of see you, and then all of a sudden they start to kind of like, curiosity kind of pulls them aside. They're very much like, you know, who's this person? What's going on? You know, what's he after? Now, you've not been here before, but you look around and can see sort of the archives. Like kind of there's a section here on like, you know, like where you would find people's like the data and all of that, all the admin stuff. This other hobgoblin, however, is not taking you there.
Where are you taking me now? Isn't our
we're
answers
going-
over there?
Oh no, we don't just barge in over there. We have to go to see a proper representative over here first.
Oh, for fuck's
This is
sake.
just the way of the embassy. We go to the representative so that you can make your request and go through the proper channels.
How long is
There
all
is a
this going to
process.
take?
Oh, well, I'm not entirely sure myself. It depends on what information you're seeking and for purpose, and they have to gather all that information, you understand. Otherwise, how they know the proper channels to guide you through. Come, let's go see let's get you an advocate, a representative to assist you.
Under his breath, Bill's probably muttering saying, I should have had a stronger drink to put with all this morning.
As you rode around, a few hours go past as you get palmed from one person to the other. Eventually, you are back. Aelith, you are probably the fifth hobgoblin caretaker of this dwarf that he has now seen. Basically, he just needs to discuss things with a few different reps before he kind of gets to where he needs to go. People just don't walk in to the the research library and the like. Bilratai, you are now back in that same junction, and again you see the sign that does say like, you know, going over here.
Yes. How may I help you?
I don't know. You've been helping him for a while now. Like
Oh, I have.
Yeah,
been.
you're
Okay.
basically giving him. Yeah, you're giving him the runaround. Is effectively the name of the game here.
Take a number.
I guess the other way to phrase it is you're trying to piss him off long enough that he gives up.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, have you spoken with, and
Insert
whoever
random
it
name.
is in the line that he's been through? She's trying to obtain the information.
Aye, that was the third person that you guys put me in front of.
Okay.
And if you're going to say,
Okay.
and he gives another name, that was the second person.
Yes. Well, let me take you over to
By the way, I want to point out this umming and ahhing thing that you're doing is exactly what's happening in character. Perfect.
Yes.
It is perfect.
Yes.
It's nailing it.
Yes. As let me take you over to uh Oster's office.
Sorry, whose
They
office?
Oster? Yes. That person will probably have the proper channels to send you to.
All right.
This is the wrong office for that.
Are you going to continue following Bilritar?
Sorry, that expression I tried to do on camera and realized I went off was pretty much Bill's reaction to this.
Okay. And she'll lead him to the next person's office, which is probably about 2 stories up. Furthest away from where he needs to be.
All right. Five more people you get passed to. You have now been here for the better part of 4 hours now, Bilritar. Neil, you are the latest individual. You are the head, sort of like, you are like kind of like a pro PA kind of individual.
Oh gosh.
And what you're doing is you're just
Uh-oh.
like, you're by a water cooler, sort of like your boss, who is the person that Bilritar needs to see, is currently in a meeting. So you're just here making sure that Bilritar has everything he needs until that meeting's ready. You can't take him anywhere. He can't leave the room he's in, but he's got some magazines. He's got some like drinks and some snacks and stuff. But he has to, it's your job to just keep him happy right now. But he has to be in this room, right? So think like a PA kind of thing.
Would you like some water? I need to grab some myself. Would you like some? I can get it for you. Maybe
You're
some
offering me
candy?
just plain water.
Well, it's not just plain water. It's sparkling water. We also got a bowl of candy here if you'd like. I can tell you a joke.
You said stacks are out at this point. The fact it's been 4 hours, and I'm guessing it'd been no lunch, no that sort of stuff. I'd imagine Bill's probably getting a bit hangry as well with all of this, if it's only been like light snacks that's been provided throughout this time.
If the magazines are too much, I got some crossword puzzles. Look, it shouldn't be too much longer.
Why is there so many damn incessant prattling and hot air?
I'm sorry? What was that? Um, if,
Oh, clearly they've got the brain trust trying to manage the barns.
I start
guess
to get a
what-
little nervous and I eat a candy.
The candy is spicy. It's like the cinnamon
Yum.
kind of candies.
I grabbed like 5 since my mouth is so big.
Sure.
Oh,
Would you
see,
like to
Bill's
play some
probably looking
cards?
up at this individual thinking, oh god, he got in here because he knows someone in charge, doesn't he? They're putting kids in here now. Oh,
I'm sorry,
You
did
should-
you call me a child?
that was Bill's internal monologue.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Num, num, num. Spicy.
I don't-
Yeah,
would you
he's
maybe-
like the
would you maybe like
the
a hand?
son of somebody.
Mere Billertar.
Bill Rotar. Maybe Schooly
no,
Eye at this point.
No, Bill is more at this point thinking, oh God, they keep forcing me off. They've now got a kid in here. And effectively, before he goes into this big internal meeting, effectively his anger is just getting ratcheted up and up and up. Until at the end, when he keeps getting pestered off, do you want? He's just going to give a very, very piercing glare at this presumably young PA.
Oh yeah, make an intimidation check.
Oh,
Of course.
You are a stinking good for nothing orc, and he believes himself superior to you because he at least gets paid way more than you do. He can dress well, and he doesn't smell like a dumpster.
look, you look upset. If you'd like, I could offer a shot.
Yes! Oh my God, Neil.
Yes.
I want you to deliver that line again, but I want you to keep, I want you to say it as straight-faced as you can, because that was just the perfect start. I'm going to give you a hero point on top of it. Okay? All right. Go for it, Neil, because I want to clip this. I want to clip this response. So, Bill, after you've made the intimidation check, you look over at this very, very young PA. You glare at him with everything that you're worth. But he looks at you with kind of this look, the same way you would look at by looking at like a dirty, like stray dog from the street.
You look upset. Can I offer maybe complimentary shower?
You saying I stink? Here, have more of your bloody... And he's going to grab a fistful of the candies and toss them in the direction of
Ah!
the PA.
Oh!
All right.
Oh!
A shower of spicy candies flings towards Rongo.
I feel threatened. Rongo. That's the name of the,
Rongo, sorry.
the
Yeah.
guy.
No, but it's like, it's Rongo, as in with an R. Anyway,
No.
that's fine. No, it throws towards the PA.
Guards! I'm being assaulted. No, it's...
The PA leaves
No
the
one can hear
room
me.
temporarily to go and, fetch more snacks. For the first time since Bilratar has been here, he is alone for a few seconds.
Never leave the dirty, smelly dwarf alone. Poor PA.
Yeah. Today's
Aw.
episode
Made a
entitled "That
mistake.
One Smelly Dwarf."
And why you should never let them talk. So Bill at this point is probably thinking, oh, a moment of peace, finally, from all that. And he's just going to basically describe how the intonation of all these hobgoblins have just been sort of grating on his nerves for basically the entire day as he's been holding himself in check.
Yeah.
It's like, just need this day to be over. It's over, and I can find them.
Your sandal snaps.
Oh, no.
Well, that's the second thing to break today, along with my patience.
Damn it! I thought this was gonna be the straw that broke the camel's back, and you were gonna just flip out.
Tables.
Well, now that he's got a broken strap in the sandal, now he's got an extra weapon to sling off and stab someone with a lot easier.
Well, he's trying so hard to keep it together.
He's
He
trying.
is. I mean, he is doing a remarkable job.
Yeah. Possibly, if one more thing goes wrong, he'd probably have gone China in a sorry, a bill in a China shop in this room and just wrecked the entire place.
As you, I'm gonna ask you this, Scalia, just as a no reason. Do you like? Are you a fan of Asterix and Obelix by any chance?
No, never read it.
Oh, okay,
I've seen
cool. So, okay, I'm just it's just now dawned on me why I'm getting away with what I'm getting away with.
Okay.
Fine. Asterix and Obelix, there's a version of it which is like the 12 tasks that Asterix and Obelix have to actually undergo, and they do a bunch of stuff circa the Trials of Hercules type thing, and one of them is to actually go through a bureaucratical nightmare much like this, and there was a solution for it. And I feel like at this point in time, I need to tell Schoolie, the person, that this is a puzzle you need to solve. because right now they are giving you the runaround. They are doing their job. Now, you, the player, obviously can't feel the physical fatigue that Bill Ratar is under. Remember, he has traveled for a couple of days. He's come here. He is tired. He is still probably quite injured. He is weary. He's exhausted. His mental fatigue has now been run down to the ground. He has been in this building for 6 hours and eaten nothing but a handful of pocket snacks, and again has been handed off to people. This is going to continue unless you break the loop. So the loop is going to continue. You go into this
He's here for
meeting
months.
with this individual who spends maybe like 3 seconds giving you a look and goes, "Oh, I've heard about you. You're the dwarf guy who was looking for right. Okay, yeah. Okay, what you need to do is you need to go down the hall, talk to Samantha. She's going to be able to book you a meeting for next week." Unless, of course, if you're really in an urgent care type situation, Samantha's got a couple of forms you can sign in order to get you on the right path. But don't worry, if you want a pen to sign those things, just head down to the right-hand side by the window. Just tell them Ernok sent you, right? They'll be able to give you the pen that you need to fill out the forms from Samantha. In due time, of course. You do have, 16 points of
Each
identification.
floor has a different pen.
You do have 16 points of identification, don't you?
At this point, can Bill see the building in question from the window?
You're in the building in question. This is the embassy.
Oh.
You've been here. You've been
No,
here. The whole
I mean
time.
in terms of the records room.
Oh, no, it's not in this guy's office.
No, I know it's not in
You
this
know where
office,
you
but
you know where it is. You've been past it like 12 times.
You have to like every time you brought to a new location, you have to pass it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It smells like so you're and he resays his name. Okay. I'll head over there right now.
Oh, well, fantastic. Here, he clicks his fingers and the PA returns again with like 16 bottles of water. And he says that he'll help you find your way. There you go. Okay, off you go.
15 bottles of water.
We probably were gonna like pour them on him because he's stinky.
All right. Yeah, like I said, he's only entertained you for a few seconds before, again, you're there with the PA now.
Well, your boss has
Welcome
finally told me
back.
to go to the records room. Lead the way.
They're just like, hey, welcome back.
All right, make a deception check. I'll make a bluff check. Okay. Make a perception check. Let's go with a +3. Neil, you can do this if you'd like.
Oh, yeah.
To see if you can pick out him lying there.
Nope.
Oh, hey, natural one. So he said, so he just said you have to take him to the records room. It sounds odd. It sounds very odd. But hey, you're not paid enough to argue with the boss.
Okay. Follow me. Take him there, yes.
Getting taken to the records room, Birita, eventually you end up at these large, heavy iron doors. Upon their opening, the entire demeanor of the embassy changes. You see that there is a number of these like massive, like kind of stone slabs, each of which are just filled to the brim with just a wide variety of different like files and forms and the like. And at the end, you see this large hobgoblin taskmaster who scratches his chin as he barks orders at a ton of goblins, like regular goblins, who are running and grabbing stuff. Was ist das? What have you brought me? Why is a dwarf stinking my beautiful records?
Sorry, sir. He said he was looking for the records room. Seemed to have the proper...
Stupids! If he asks for the records rooms, why is you bringing him here and not to Relations? Relations told you to bring him here.
Relations told me to bring him here.
Relations said this?
Mm-hmm.
Leave before I feed you to my goblins.
Yes, sir. Anything I can get for you?
Yes, sparkling water.
Yes, on the double. Is a different guy that looks and acts the same as the other guy.
Well, Mr. Dwarf, please be sitting down in front of me. Tell me what the records of the Hobgoblin Kingdoms can do to help whatever it is you are doing.
Location reports for the Obsidian Oath. Recent activity.
Location reports for one of our one of our warlords. You insane? Is perhaps maybe there's something wrong with the thickness of your skull? That it prevents the brain from growing out? You think that we, the Hobgoblin Empires, should share our military movements with some random dwarf off the street? Oh, sure. Why not? You know, in fact, let me also get you the High Commanders movement, their schedule, and their guard patrol as well, yeah? And then I'll also, you know what? I've got all this list of weapon deployments, as well as our manufacturers, our supply train lines, and even, you know what? I've got the identities of our undercover covert operation agents. Let me get them for you as well. You know, wouldn't want you to miss anything in case you need to fucking come back here.
Well, if you want me to keep coming back here when I've got a personal matter with the oath.
Oh, you have a personal matter. Did somebody walk out on your baby daddy? Perhaps. Maybe.
Baby Hobgoblin.
I get a funny feeling at this point is he tempting him with the actual notes yet?
He you don't know if they're the notes per se,
Yeah.
but he is waving a book around, you know.
Yeah.
It's the inventory of the snacks in this building.
Could be anything, you don't know.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
anything. But Bill's
Yeah.
temper is probably frayed at this point, so he just goes for a grab. And
Temper, psyche, you know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. Make an athletics check as you've gone to grab this hobgoblin. Oh, not bad.
Whoa.
Not bad. Now you know the question I'm going to ask you. What level are you guys?
5.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay, that's not bad. There we go. Boom. This guy. Okay. The DC is 22.
Ooh.
All right. With a 22, you snatch the book out of his hands. He gets up and he says, "You do not want to be messing with me, nor do you want to be messing with this." And he reaches out and tries to snatch it back off you. You filthy swine. Take this! 26 versus your fortitude DC.
Which would have been a 23, so that's a success.
So he snatches it back off you. He does. I say when I say he towers over you, he is tall, but he is very heavy set. You can tell he's been in admin for quite a while. He's lost kind of those initial kind of big tough muscles. You're very quite, no lean muscles, no strong muscles, just kind of like, lumberjack, big kind of strong bud, right? Not, thing. Anyway.
He's got dad bod. It's okay.
Yeah, strong dad bod.
Yeah.
I mean, hobgoblins, like I said, in general, kind of have like a very they've got a very lean kind of posture and stuff. But yeah, this guy's got kind of like a gut and like a big thing. Yeah. Anyway.
I'd imagine this effectively goes back as far as just basically trying to constantly sort of almost a tug of war.
Oh
with the book.
he's snatched it. He's gotten it. What are you gonna do about it, huh? He shoves you. No, he doesn't shove you. It's just, what are you gonna do, Bill Rattal?
He got the book. He's got the book. What are you gonna do about?
You know what? If he's going for height, he use the whole thing up here.
Yeah, 100%.
Bill will use the table as a leaping point to jump and grab it.
The table's behind him. If you want to, you will have to force your way past him, which works.
Or the chairs, or all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is this works for what you're saying happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, make an athletics check as you try to jump off the table to grab him. Oh, damn! Okay, purely by accident, but absolutely. You actually go to jump off the table, but instead actually jump off his thigh. Planting a foot on his chest, you smash him into the table. His back kind of cracks, and because of his enhanced weight, it like just basically just sort of snaps something in the wrong spot as you reach up and you grab hold of it. Now, keeping in mind, effectively for you, you would just use leverage to get up and snatch the book. That's it.
Yep.
But he's fallen hard on the corner of that book, and he rolls over and he's like, "Ah! Stop him! Ah!"
I come back and I'm like, I brought the sparkling water, and I just drop
some
the sparkling.
Some goblins are chasing after you, Bill
Goblins,
Rattal.
Stop him!
Just start piling on him.
Yeah. Bill Rattal, what do you do?
Well, with book in hand, without even a chance to read it and seeing all of this going on, he probably just tries to hightail it out of there. Probably trying to flip as he goes, and then if he gets to a certain page, he'll just toss the book and hope they leave.
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing: you have no time whatsoever. I mean, I don't imagine you can also imagine. I mean, it is a very, very big thing to try and run out of a room while poring over a book and then going. But in the kerfuffle, you do manage to get a goblin grab onto the book. You grab onto it as well, and you wrench just like a page out of the book. It doesn't tell you anything, but it does have a name, and guess whose name it is?
Ostra.
Yep, brand new. So basically, Ostra was not the one who was given the orders to kill your mercenary company. However, he was the one to take over after that individual died, which you know because you killed that person at the time. So Ostra was the new head of the Obsidian Oath, which is, you set your goal on that. We then flash back to the ship. With everything you said and everything that's happened in the flashback, Bill Rattal, the case seems pretty sound. The innocence is what's in question. When we return next week, you will have one final statement before judgment is passed.
Oh,
but you know what? You've done really well, and from what you've told and what's actually happened. And by the way, there was a reason I did the flashback after Bill Rattal shared the story. The reason I did that, and this is actually a good technique I want to share with my fellow DMs out there in the world. This is what we like to call the unreliable storyteller. The unreliable storyteller is a technique in which this person's own personal bias or personal attitude will come towards the forefront of the story that's being told, as opposed to what actually happened. So when dialing things back to actually having that flashback happen, now we can see what Bill Rattal would actually do, rather than what Bill Rattal thinks Bill Rattal did. So that's what you would do it in that order. If I wanted to give a very accurate account I would do the flashback first, then have Bilratar say what happened, because then Bilratar knows what happened. Do you know what I mean? So if you ever want to use that technique, that's how you go about using it at your D&D tables. It's fun, it's amazing, and tells great stories, honestly. So there you go. Little DAG freebie there. See, that's why you follow my channel. That's why you watch this shit, you know? I don't make videos about, like, giving you advice. You just watch my stuff and see me do them. So there you go. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you had a good time. I know I did. In many, many, many ways, I had an amazing time today. And I would like to thank my lovely players for, doing this this judge, jury, executioner thing. And, of course, my amazing hobgoblin NPC PCs, which I hope you guys had fun with them. Tormenting poor Schoolie.
It was so much fun.
I'm just like, finally, yes.
But, guys, thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here a number of times during the week. Now, we are scheduled at present for Curse of the Crimson Throne. We are scheduled. However, I've just learned that a friend of mine might need a little bit of extra company and some attention and stuff like that. So I might be doing that tonight. Depending on how all that goes, I will be informing my players and stuff if there are changes to the schedule. Otherwise, I will see you in 8 hours. But love your faces. Hope you're good. You're amazing. As always, thank you so much for being a part of today. Stay kind. Stay wonderful. Be awesome. And as always, game hard or die trying. Hooray for no blips! Woo!
Yay!